Using adaptive cruise control inside of the Lincoln Corsair is a very straightforward process. In order to use it, you've got a button along the steering wheel here. You're going to push that, and that's going to turn on the adaptive cruise control system. From there, you've got all of your controls along the bottom part of the steering wheel. So what you can do, as you start to drive, you can utilize the little buttons along the back here to set your speed. And then you could increase or decrease 1 kilometer or 1 mile per hour at a time. You can also push and hold up to get to the nearest 10 kilometers an hour or to the nearest 5 miles per hour. So you're just going to push and hold up that way to do it. You can hit the brake to pause. You can hit there to resume. Along the right side, you can also hit cancel if you want to instead. So you can either hit brake or cancel. And then you've also got your distance indicators. So it's how close or far are you away from the vehicle that's in front of you. I want you to think of that one like a 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi type of a rule. And one cool thing is that you can also see all of this information inside of the head-up display as you go. So you've got your distance indicator, if you've got the cruise control system toggled on, off, etc., whatever your speeds are and things like that. So it's a really cool system. And inside the vehicle, if you go to your feature settings, driver assistance, that's going to give you a boatload of other options here. So you've got the option of selecting the type of cruise control. So you've got 3 different types. It's either going to be normal cruise, which is exactly that. You set it at 100 kilometers an hour on the highway. If the car in front of you slows down, yours will not brake. With the adaptive cruise, if the car in front of you slows down, yours is automatically going to brake as well. There's lane centering, so with the hands-free system going, it's going to keep you perfectly balanced in your lane as you go. In-lane repositioning is a really cool one. So if there's a truck or somebody that's on the lane that's next to you, if they start kind of teetering over into your lane, it's automatically going to shift you over as well. It's a really cool feature. It's very subtle when it happens, but it's really neat at the same time. There's also predictive speed assist with a tolerance level. So you can go up to 30. Are you okay with going 30 over or 30 under the speed limit? But where this comes into play, a few different options. If you're going around a bend, the vehicle is automatically going to slow you down. If the speed goes from, let's say, 80 down to 60, it's going to slow you down. If it goes from 60 up to 80, it's going to speed you up. So it's really cool that way. It's a matter of preference if you use that one or not. And then the lane change assist. Also, if you hit your turn stalk to go left or right, it's going to check next to you and then it's automatically going to change lanes for you. Strictly on highways when you've got that cruise system going, but it is really neat. And there's also a few other systems. So you've got your speed limit assist. Do you want to get a speed warning if you're going too fast, too slow, etc.? Not a fan of that one. There's a lane keeping system that works 3 different ways. So the first way is if you start to veer over into a lane without signaling, you're going to get a little bit of a steering wheel shake, almost like you're running over rumble pavement. Number 2 is an aid. So it's actually going to nudge you back into your lane. And then the alert and the aid will do both. So you'll get a steering wheel shake and it'll nudge you back into your lane. And then there's an intensity, so it's going to be the intensity of that steering wheel vibration. And then you've got a few other things like the blind spot system, cross traffic alert, and the driver alert. So if you veer over into another lane too many times without signaling, eventually it's going to tell you that you should probably take a break. If you wanted to disable BlueCruise, there are 3 different things that you can try. The first thing is going to be to turn the lane keeping system off. But with it off, that means that that regular lane keep system won't work whatsoever. Option number 2 is under your cruise control setting, you've got your lane centering with hands-free. You want to toggle that one off. And that means that the BlueCruise system just won't work whatsoever. So you can still use the adaptive or the normal. You just don't have to worry about the prompts for BlueCruise to come on automatically. So you can toggle that on or off. Way number 3. And probably the easiest thing to do is just to take over the steering wheel or to take over the gas or the brake at any point in time. When you hit the brake, though, you're going to have to resume your speed, but you can take over the steering wheel at any point in time. If you've got the lane change assist going, what that one's going to do is as you start to go left or right on the highway, it's going to automatically help change lanes for you. But same idea, you can take over the steering wheel at any point in time to make that lane change happen quicker. You can hit the gas pedal if you want to speed up quicker as well, or as I mentioned, hit the brake. So again, your 3 options are to disable the lane keeping system. The other option is to turn off lane centering. The third option is just to grab onto the steering wheel, move around yourself, hit the gas or the brake as necessary. One thing that you're going to notice as you start to drive, you've got little lights here that are going to start going crazy. You can't actually see them, it's just the camera lens that's picking it up, but it's the difference in frame rate. But those cameras are essentially watching your eyes to make sure that you pay attention. So, there we go. As we get up to speed, system's now toggled on, and I could push up and then push and hold up in order to increase 10 miles or 10 kilometers per hour at a time. And we're cruising. We're on an 80 road right now, and the car is picking us up to speed. I can hit the cancel button here if I want to. I could hit the resume button in order to resume my previously set speed instead. And then increase, decrease 1 kilometer, 1 mile per hour at a time. And then as I mentioned, you've also got your distance indicator here. So how close or far are you away from the vehicle that's in front of you? That one really is going to be a matter of preference. Oh, it's okay, Tesla, you can come out on my side of the road, you dummy. Oh well. Shaking my fist at you. So I'm going to have it on maximum here, and you can see, so we're coming up to cars that are stopped, and oh, my feet are off the brake. The vehicle is bringing me right down to a complete stop here. So if there are cars in front of you at a red light, it's automatically going to brake for you. But if there are no cars in front of you at a red light, you still have to make sure that you brake yourself, because the car is not going to brake for you. You can hit the gas there in order to resume as well if you'd like to. Yeah, you can see there. So watch it. I was looking off to the side, so that message will come up if you're not paying attention. And where that one really comes into play is for the adaptive, or the BlueCruise system, I should say, because you do need to actively pay attention in order for that BlueCruise system to be working. So you can't be napping as we go. But on a 70 on ramp, so let's push and hold up to get to 70, and we are cruising. Now, there is a lane keeping system, lane following system inside of the vehicle as well, so it can keep you perfectly balanced in your lane as you go. But I'll show you all of that as we drive here. Then getting up to 100, so let's push and hold up to get to 100. Sometimes it does take the speed sign recognition a bit to pick up, but we are on an on-ramp, so we do have to go 100 here because we're on a highway. And we're just cruising right now. So one of the benefits of driving with the BlueCruise system, look at that, it's fully hands-free. So if you wanted to, you could just kind of keep your hands off to the side and hang out. But one of the benefits of the BlueCruise system, the adaptive cruise system, etc., is that if you've got a heavy foot, you don't have to worry about it, because if the car in front of you starts to slow down, yours is automatically going to brake. So what I find, I use adaptive cruise all the time on residential streets, highways, whatever the case may be. That's going to be a matter of preference. I personally love the system because it keeps my speed in check. If you want a full walkthrough on the steering wheel buttons, the cluster, the infotainment, things like that, you'll find it down below. But that's how you utilize the cruise control system inside of the Lincoln Corsair.